Hello my dearest friends, and welcome to ukvisasuccess.com. Svetlana Shlapak is here. A friend of mine is a senior manager at one of the well-established companies in the visa national country, and he loves traveling, and one of the things which he finds annoying is going through the customs control and answering all these questions and spending lots of time doing that. And he asked me whether there is any way of avoiding this, and the answer is probably one of the answers is getting a British passport. So today I'm going to talk about the route, very little known route for some reason, which will eventually help you settle here in the UK. If you are a senior employee and if you do not have any branches here in the UK, this may be a solution for you as well. So let me explain this route.
The requirements. We'll discuss here who can qualify to apply as a representative of an overseas business, and also what English language requirements you will need to meet in order to succeed in this type of application, and also what financial requirements you will need to meet as well. First of all, who qualifies? There are two types of employees who will qualify: a senior employee of an overseas business, or an employee of an overseas newspaper, news agency, or a broadcasting organization. And for both types of employees, they will need to prove that they have been recruited and taken on as an employee outside the United Kingdom as a business which has its headquarters and principal place of business outside the UK. With regards to senior employees of an overseas business, they will need to prove that they're a senior employee which has no active branch, subsidiary, or other representative in the United Kingdom, with full authority to take operational decisions on behalf of the overseas business for the purpose of representing it in the United Kingdom by establishing and operating a registered branch or wholly owned subsidiary of that overseas business, and the branch or subsidiary of which will be concerned with the same type of business activity as the overseas business. And if you're applying as an employee of an overseas newspaper, news agency, or a broadcasting organization, you will need to prove that you are an employee of the overseas newspaper, a news agency, or broadcasting organization, being posted on a long-term assignment as a representative of their overseas employer, and that you intend to work full-time as the representative of your overseas employer. With regards to English language requirement, there are three ways of meeting it. First of all, you can easily meet it by showing that you are from the majority English speaking country, and here is the list, and you can just pause this video to double check if your country is on this list. Secondly, you can meet the English language requirements by passing an A-level English language test. And you have to remember two things. First of all, the test will need to be approved by the Home Office. And secondly, it will need to be provided by an approved provider. If you want to have the links to the approved English language tests, and if you would like to have a list of the approved English providers, just continue watching this video and I'll tell you how you can get one. And also you can meet the English language requirement by showing that you have the required academic qualification. It has to be the bachelor's degree, the master's degree, or PhD awarded by an educational establishment in the UK. And if it was awarded overseas, then the UK NARIC organization will need to prove that its recognized standard is at least at the bachelor degree or above. And if you have a degree from the majority English speaking country, then it will be deemed as acceptable by UK NARIC. And the financial requirement in this particular type of application is a very straightforward one. All you have to do in order to meet the financial requirement, you will need to prove that you can maintain and accommodate yourself and any dependents who will be applying with you without recourse to public funds, which means without applying for benefits. Okay, the procedure is a standard one. First of all, you will need to complete the correct form, and I'll tell you at the end of this video how you can get the link to this form. You will need to pay the fee, and at the time of recording of this video, the fee is £610. Please, guys, make sure that you do check what is the fee at the time of applying, because they do change the fee on a regular basis. Then you will need to pay the immigration health surcharge, and again I will tell you how you can get the link to check how much you need to pay and how to actually pay for your immigration health surcharge. Then you will need to provide your biometrics, and this is just the fingerprints and the photograph which is taken at the visa application center. And again I will provide you with a link to help you check where is the nearest visa application center. And when can you apply? The earliest you can apply is 3 months before you travel. So if you would like to travel on 15th of June, the earliest you can apply is 16th of March. And it generally takes around 3 weeks if you apply from outside, but I strongly suggest that you apply earlier than that, because sometimes these types of applications take longer because the Home Office wants to make their own checks. And if the application is successful, first of all, your initial visa is most likely to be granted for 3 years. Then you will be allowed to extend your visa in the UK for another 2 years, provided you meet all the necessary requirements. And most importantly, you will be allowed to settle with this type of application. You will be allowed to apply for indefinite leave to remain in the UK after remaining in the UK on this type of visa for 5 years. Conditions mean what you are allowed to do and what you are not allowed to do in the UK on this visa. You are allowed to work for your employer full time. You are allowed to bring all your family members, your spouse and your children under the age of 18, and you are allowed to extend your visa here in the UK. And as I said before, you are allowed to settle in the UK with this type of visa after remaining here for 5 years, provided, of course, you still meet all the necessary requirements. You cannot work for yourself, so you cannot be self-employed, and you cannot establish another limited company, or you cannot work for any other businesses. You cannot stay in the UK if the sole representative arrangement is ended by your employer, and you cannot switch to any other visa category while on this visa, and of course you cannot claim benefits. And also I wanted to mention what conditions a senior employee will need to meet in order to qualify to enter the UK as a representative of an overseas business. First of all, they will need to be sole representatives of their employer here in the UK. They need to show their intention to work full-time, and they will need to work full-time in order to qualify. And they will need to prove that they are not majority shareholders of the overseas business. And also the Home Office will expect the employer to provide them with a full description of the company's activities, including details of the company's assets, accounts, and the company's share distribution for the previous year. Secondly, they will want the employer to provide them with a letter which confirms that the overseas company will establish a wholly owned subsidiary or register a branch in the UK in the same business activity as the parent company overseas. Also, they will want the employer to provide them with the job description, salary details, and the contract of employment for the applicant. Number 4, a letter confirming that the applicant is fully familiar with the company's activities and has full powers to negotiate and take operational decisions without a reference to the parent company. And finally, they will want to see a notarized statement, which means confirmed by the solicitors, which confirms that the applicant will be their sole representative in the UK and that the company has no other active branch, subsidiary, or representative in the UK, and its operations will remain centered overseas, and the applicant will not engage in business of their own and not represent any other company's interests. And as I mentioned before, if you would like to know more, if you would like to go deeper and find out more about this type of application, if you would like to have links to a list of approved tests, English language tests, or English language providers, if you would like to have a link to the UK NARIC website, and also to the online form, and also to check how much you will need to pay for the immigration health surcharge and actually be able to make this application. And finally, if you would like to check where is the nearest visa application center, then you are more than welcome to visit this website, ukvisasuccess.com/overseas business rep, and request this information, and it will be sent to you within the next 60 seconds. And before you go, I wanted to share some exciting news with you. On request of my subscribers, I'll now be publishing a ukvisasuccess.com newsletter. I value your and my time, and therefore, in this newsletter, I'll be straight to the point. It will be published once a week, and in this newsletter, I'll be giving you 5 actionable, practical things. And as a ukvisasuccess.com subscriber, you will be the first one to see them before everyone else does. And here is the format of the newsletter. I'll be sharing a new video, a new information card. I'll be answering one of the most frequently asked questions submitted by my newsletter subscribers. And I'll be sharing one random thing, which is completely unrelated to UK immigration law. But this is going to be something which inspired me and something which may inspire you as well. And finally, I'll be sharing news of the UK immigration world with you and making announcements about free masterclasses, ebooks, mind maps, which I am creating for you guys on a regular basis. The subscription process takes less than 30 seconds, and the link is in the description. If you found this video useful, you can do 3 things right now. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can visit my free website at ukvisasuccess.com. And most importantly, you can share this video with those who may benefit from it. By sharing these videos, you may help others avoid refusals of their immigration applications. Because in immigration law, knowledge and clarity are the key ingredients to success. Thank you so much for your support and for your positive feedback, which incredibly inspires me and gives me fuel to create more and more videos clarifying various aspects of UK immigration law. Have a great day, everyone.